Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
So, guys, yesterday we did put this one up on Heart's Ohm Ambient Astral Journey for 32 hertz, light code activation, and high vibe music. So, Cindy is doing biofield tuning forks to attune you to higher frequencies, which again can actually literally drive out the dark demonic parasites that we find around our planet.
It's definitely very helpful for that. And Mike is running his guitar and he always sends out his own energy to it. So, I don't see these music clips as just music clips. These are little mini healing sessions. So if you're having a bad day, you need to wind down. If you need to get ready for something like an interview or anything, these are going to help bring you up a little bit so that you can meet that challenge at your absolute best.
Absolutely. And when you go over to Patreon, and we do want to thank our newest patrons.
Yes, we want to say huge thank yous to Venalyn, Insipid Churl, and Yasir.
Thank you guys so much. Again, exclusives going up typically 2, sometimes 3 times a week over on Patreon. And we do have it subdivided under different headings. One of them is this one. So music, mantras, meditation. Again, if you just have it like running in the background, many people will loop it. This is what I'll do, is I'll loop things when I'm working in the yard and, have a speaker aimed at the area that I am working in. And it just is going in the background and it's kind of saturating the area with positive vibes and frequencies, as everything is energy. Everything is energy and in motion. Here we see South Korea. Huge lithium battery recycling factory explosion has cost 22 people their lives, and it's now choking citizens with plumes of toxic chemical smoke. Lithium batteries, boom. Yeah, this is South Korea. And then this is Scotland. Huge explosion, plumes of toxic gas over Glasgow. Guess what it is? It's a It's a battery recycling factory. Yes, burning out of control. People warned to stay inside, and again, toxic plumes of smoke. Coincidence? I seriously doubt it. Think about this. Again, we were just talking about mining and cobalt and lithium. We were talking about the connection between the Congo and Idaho, and all that was going on behind the scenes in these bills done by these politicians, in which the politicians benefit by investing in certain industries that they know are about to explode. Well, not this way.
No, this is a huge mess. This is a really big mess, but it's what the controllers do to guide the industry the way they want to guide it. So they have these little callings that they do, and they say, okay, it's time to do this, it's time to do that. And they talk through the headlines too. So you might see a really wonky type of headline, and it's them communicating to each other to say, okay, time to do this. It's just so very disturbing. It's awful.
The reality is, again, as people are waking up in droves, but never fast enough. There's no need for any of this as we shift from one energy system that really is toxic and not really productive, not necessarily the safest, to another that's going to be the same thing, not really as effective as could be, still dirty in more ways than one. It's all just one big scam and one big illusion that is being exposed. And yet, the politicians of the world and many others that we don't necessarily view as trying to sell us something. We know politicians are trying to sell us something. That's all they do. It's just like the news. The news doesn't, unfortunately, just simply report on what's happening. They're trying to sell you on something. It's selling, it's conditioning. It's all part of the system. And over here we have a big explosion in Odessa. massive fire and plume, indicating Russia may have targeted a warehouse where weapons were stored. Perhaps again, because this is Odessa and then Sevastopol, where we had witnessed that event with people on the beach straight across. Again, this is Russia, this is Ukraine, but they're very close to each other. In fact, I'm not exactly sure of distances, but, it kind of reminds me of, if we had war going on in, say, Cuba, would you be totally surprised if all of a sudden there was some sort of explosion and, targeting of, say, Miami, or maybe somewhere else, down on Lake Naples or something? No, I mean, you wouldn't be too surprised because, they're only separated by maybe, 90 to 100 miles. And this is, again, the same situation over here. As you see, very important. Turkey is extremely important in so many ways, as, this is the only way really in and out is going through the area over here by Istanbul into the whole Black Sea area. So lots going on, obviously. I just had to share this. This is a soldier who is a pretty good rollerblader. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty darn good. And apparently this is part of their training. They're hanging on to tanks and stuff and military vehicles, and then they go shooting off ahead when there's a traffic jam. That's just really kind of wild. Feels a little Mad Max-ish, doesn't it? Taliban pledged to send thousands of soldiers to fight alongside Hezbollah in the upcoming war in Lebanon against Israel. As the other thing that's going on is the U.S. is moving an aircraft carrier from the Red Sea up back into the Mediterranean right off the coast of Israel to perhaps support the upcoming military venture.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're definitely, I guess, enjoying their job. It's just very, very different. I was surprised to see that utilizing their rollerblades, but there they are. They're utilizing it. But something I saw when I was watching this, I was shown a different type of technology. So when this system is broken down, the next thing we are going to see is we're going to see them more like hovering on hoverboards. So it's like, that's just what I saw when I was watching this. So curious.
Yeah, I think we're going to be, especially this war is going to introduce a lot of new technology. And when we get on the other side, it's going to be pretty crazy. I think we're going to have rapid advancements in more ways than one. Be mind-blowing. Over here where you see trending in the U.S., there was a quake in the northern part of Los Angeles, 3.2. So a lot of people were posting about that. 3.2 is what they're showing it. When we think about these ancient seals, maybe we look at them with a new light when you see explosions and things that look like bombs, right? I mean, does that look so much like a classical bomb? Does it not? If you look at photos of, the ones that were used over in Japan, little boy and my mind's going blank on the other one. They look a lot like this. And then you have people picking up on, something got out of order there. There it is. Somebody, picking up on the craters. Why do meteor craters look like this and not like this? Like no skid, no angle? How likely is it when you see meteorite impacts that they're always coming in at a perfect 90 degrees, boom, punching straight in? I don't think it's too likely. It's true. I mean, we do see a massive skid mark, per se, down there in between South America and Antarctica. It does look like the bottom one there. When we went to, and this might be the one that got me nauseous, in Arizona, over there close to St. John's in Arizona, there is a crater that is massive, and it is, from what I feel, it was more what we're seeing depicted on this seal. It was more of a weapon coming down and in, and it was not a natural event like just a random meteor coming in and hitting. No, this was targeted. This was war. This was hitting a certain targeted population, and they didn't really even know what hit them. It was so sudden, they weren't expecting it. I think the American West, again, a lot of it, whether we're talking the Grand Canyon or this meteor, what we felt time and time again was ancient war and death and destruction from above with technology.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, this was a really horrible feeling. I mean, just really horrible. I don't even really want to mention it on the radio, but the things that I saw when I was looking to see why was Mike getting so sick, it was just repulsive. It was some of the worst things you could imagine.
Yeah, I was just getting kind of like these visions, and I really was getting blurry-eyed in that area, and asking Cindy to drive when usually I do most of the driving, especially if we're towing. But she's very capable of towing. She is, after all, a farm girl here. This is a Vimana, and there are many different types of Vimanas depending on the age that we're in. So the ones that we saw the most recently at the end of the Bronze Age, and when we would occasionally catch them in the Kali Yuga, they were more mechanical. And then when you go up in through the ages and you go up into the Golden Age, the Vimanas, the flying machines, were more made from plasma. There's many, many different types. Again, there's great books out there that document this and go into great detail. It's fascinating that different groups of beings, whether they were classified as more Devic or more Asura, but Asuras would be the ones that would be associated with the more rudimentary vehicles, the actual vehicles that we would perceive of as traditional UFOs, as opposed to vehicles of light or plasma. That's more associated with the Asuras, and there's different categories of Asuras, and some were known for different things. And again, there's this one category that liked to do biological warfare on their victims. I mean, I kid you not. They would come by in these flying machines, unleash clouds and strange patterns in the sky, and then people would drop sick. And it makes me think, right away to the Bible and say the census. Again, when David did the census and quote unquote, Yahweh goes ahead and kills 70,000 people. And there's more mass deaths like that in other books and other phrasings in the Bible, talking about different events in which, again, they will say angel of the Lord, but you have to realize, again, that's totally misinterpreting the original wording. Really, again, it's messenger of the mighty ones is what should be coming across. And if we got used to saying what was originally given to us in the original Hebrew, these are messengers of the mighty ones, the judges of humanity, the rulers that have taken over the planet and exact their justice as they will on humanity in many different ways, utilizing things like what we would call CHEM trails. Oh yeah, absolutely. This is nothing new. This is all part of that redo that is always ongoing. So, here we are again, and we look at this. The question here is, how tall do you have to be to use a knocker? Why put a knocker on this door that is probably 20 plus feet high when you can't reach it? It's just, it's ornamental. It's grandiose. No, that's, again, sales.
I really don't think that the ages are as far apart as they say they are. I think we cycle faster than what they say we do. And whenever you hear anyone saying, oh, over 100 billion years ago, this thing happened and here's our proof, I think that is mostly done to throw us off and make us feel completely detached from our history, when I think things cycle through much, much faster. So it's very curious.
Absolutely. It can be exhausting to keep up with. Absolutely exhausting. And I totally relate to that little guy. Oh, he's a cutie, isn't he not? Look at, he's just going to hang there. Oh, you really got to get up. You really got to get up. Oh, it's just too much.
That's the cutest thing. That is pure contentment. That's pure love. That's trust. That's, I am comfortable with my human. And this dog is being a wonderful, wonderful psychiatrist, psychologist, best friend, therapy buddy. This dog is doing really good with his human.
Absolutely. Again, thank you guys so much for taking part in this journey. We look forward to your comments. Source, bless, and namaste.
Namaste.